Actually, that all works out perfectly.
Where are we going?
What if this actually had a different meaning? What if what Monty is referring to when he says this works out perfectly is actually sending Primus back to Purgatory, aka Alcatraz, to resolve this blood vial paradox?
Mein Gott, what have I done? Stop it, Edward. Breathe. Marxist!
Since we don't know very much about Black Ops 4 Zombies in terms of 9, Voyage of Despair, and even Blood of the Dead, I think it's safe to make some fairly interesting predictions in terms of the type of storyline we're going to be seeing, the characters that will be featured, and so on. This is dkdynamite, and to be quite honest with you, I do think that Treyarch had a pretty good idea of what Zombies lore was going to be used in Black Ops 4 Zombies as they were developing maps for DLC 3 and even DLC 4 for Black Ops 3. So on screen, I'm going to show you guys footage of the multiplayer maps known as Berserk and Citadel, because I do think the settings on these maps are quite interesting. Now, even though we saw some pretty historic maps within some of the Black Ops 3 multiplayer DLC, like Outlaw, which takes place, what I would assume, in the past, in the Wild Wild West, I do think Treyarch kind of knew they were going to kind of go back in time with Black Ops 4. They're going to kind of go back to boots on the ground, back to a modern-ish, somewhat futuristic setting. And what was weird was maps like Berserk and Citadel felt really odd. Like, I couldn't understand why they chose those specific themes for these multiplayer maps. Berserk, for example, you can tell takes place way back when, and the setting on it is quite interesting and almost feels like it could be a setting for a future Zombies experience using the new crew that we saw in the trailers for 9 and Voyage of Despair. And just the overall setting, you can see dead gladiators, dead soldiers, odd weapons everywhere. You can see arrows stuck through things. Like, to me, that kind of hints at the type of gameplay and lore that will be featured on a map like 9 in Black Ops 4. And those are just my thoughts. And once again, I was in the shower and I'm thinking, this makes for a pretty good video, because I think Treyarch had all this planned out for a very long time. But a map like Citadel has something even more interesting. And as we all know, there is an Easter egg on this map that features the Kronorium. So yes, the Kronorium could be found on the map, and to me that is almost calling out that yes, this will play a role in some type of Zombies lore in Black Ops 4. Now, we of course have things like the Wolf King, the Snake King, this lion. We have a bunch of different elements and animals and tribes that you can see on this map, Citadel, and there is a greater story to it. I'll put it on screen and down below in the description, but that greater story could be hinting at something that is either similar or is directly referenced within the upcoming maps in Black Ops 4 Zombies. Now, on top of these odd multiplayer maps, which kind of feel out of place and simply feel like teasers for Black Ops 4, we have hats on Revelations. Now, there is a little bit of backstory towards each of these hats, but looking at things like the Viking helmet and the Templar mask, I do think that these things are going to play a role in Black Ops 4. And if you're wondering what do I mean by this, well, for example, the Viking helmet is probably something that's going to be worn by one of our characters in 9, a map that has this gladiator-like theme to it, so obviously you'll see some Viking elements in there. And we have something like the Templar, which is probably going to be maybe like a mini boss zombie similar to Brutus, maybe a zombie wearing Templar armor, that would be pretty cool, or maybe just basic zombies that spawn in using this. You know, we know alchemy is playing a huge role within Black Ops 4 Zombies and its lore, and there's so much more to that I won't get into within this video, but we do know that almost anything goes. And even though Treyarch said that they're going with a completely new story in Black Ops 4 Zombies for most of the maps, while some other maps will continue the old story, I do think in the far future you will see all these stories connect. And it's kind of similar to Shadows of Evil. As I said before, Shadows of Evil is a map that grew on the community. A lot of people didn't like it at first. I know when I first saw the reveal of Shadows of Evil, I was a bit skeptical. I'm like, wait, why are they showing monsters and these flying things? What the fuck is going on? How is this zombies? Yes, I was confused. As a major Zombies fan, a major Treyarch fan, I was very confused with Shadows of Evil at first. The map came out, I didn't like it too much at first, but once again, it grew on me. As time went on, I learned the story behind it. I kind of started to like the Shadow Man as a villain, and I was looking at the Margwas and Keepers and Apothecans, and I'm like, wait, this is the ancient evil that's been referenced ever since Black Ops 1, except Blundell took that mini side story and brought it to the forefront and really expanded on that over the course of Black Ops 3's DLC season. So going back and playing Shadows now, yes, I can easily say it's a fan favorite. The Easter egg is fun, the map plays very well, high rounds is interesting, pretty cool wonder weapon, and that's how I see 9 and Voyage of Despair releasing with Black Ops 4. I see people kind of being at first when they come out. You'll see more people playing Blood of the Dead and progressing the old story versus jumping right into the new story and enjoying it. But you'll probably see after like maybe 1 or 2 DLC map packs or whatever the packs are going to be, that people will start to enjoy the new story a lot more and appreciate it once Treyarch weaves it into the current zombie storyline that we have on the official Zombies timeline. But yes, I do think little things on Revelations, little things in these multiplayer maps from Black Ops 3 all play a role in teasing us for what type of lore we're going to see in Black Ops 4 Zombies. Now, there are some pretty cool Reddit posts out there that sort of hint at where the story will go on Blood of the Dead. Now, I'll read this, not all of it, but I'll read parts of it that I think are important. So, at the end of Revelations, I believe Monty sends us to Purgatory so that the Blood Vial paradox can be resolved. And so our characters will be trapped, and Richtofen can pay for his actions against Monty. Monty is Satan. He controls red-eyed zombies. That's why the zombies were red in Gorod, and Monty could easily communicate with you in Gorod, just like Samantha does in the maps where she controls the zombies. Monty keeps the children safe in the house when he may really be trying to kill them or turn them back into their child form so that they are no threat as they are in their adult forms. So, looking at this post, the first thing I can think of is this. There's going to be 2 different scenarios here. Either this Reddit post is correct, and yes, Monty sends Primus back to Alcatraz, aka Purgatory, in order to resolve this Blood Vial paradox, since he was very pissed at the end of Revelations when he saw that we couldn't be wiped from existence because we have these Blood Vials. So that's a scenario, and I'll jump into that in a second. But the other scenario is this. What if, since Blood Vials are clearly full in this teaser trailer, as Mr. Ralph Waffles confirmed himself, since he talked to Jason Blundell, what if, after we get the Blood Vials in Zetsubo, then after we go through Gorod, what if an alternate timeline exists where we don't go to the house right away, as we see in Revelations, but we go first to Alcatraz? Since in this timeline, we are aware that Monty is evil, and Monty will wipe us from existence, including many other dimensions as well. So instead of going to the house first, we go to Alcatraz, meet up with Victus, and something goes on from there where we team up with them or send them on a mission so that we can kill Monty before we return to the house, before we meet back with the children, and before Monty can see that we have these Blood Vials. So that's kind of my theory going on at the moment. There are a lot of things that contradict it. I understand that. That's kind of just my early opinion for where Blood of the Dead is going. But I highly doubt the Treyarch is going to go the route of saying, hey, this map takes place in between Zetsubo no Shima and Gorod Krovi. To me, that would be not only lazy, but fairly pointless, because we already see what happens when they go to Alcatraz in between Zetsubo and Gorod, thanks to the official Call of Duty Zombies comic. So, sort of reiterating what already happened and sort of building on what we already know is a bit boring and a bit disappointing, but Craig Houston himself did say that Blood of the Dead is one of the best scripts he's ever written. So, I'm getting the impression that this takes place after Revelations, even though many other YouTubers like Rad Austin, Milo, and many other guys as well are saying that it takes place in between Zetsubo and Gorod. I personally believe that this is something that we just don't know yet because of the footage we've seen is so minimal, and I do think that Treyarch has a really big plan up their sleeve right now, and we're going to be seeing a little bit of it when Blood of the Dead releases, but will, of course, be expanded upon within the DLC season for Black Ops 4 Zombies. But going on this Reddit post that I was reading to you guys, now, I do think it's interesting to think about Monty sending Primus back to Alcatraz right after the revelations and the cutscene versus saying Monty actually sends us back all the way to the start of the cycle in ancient times with the original stabs. And going on this, Blundell himself has said in the past that the order in which we experience things is not necessarily the order that they occur in. So that right there could be supported by the ending of Origins. The ending cutscene of Origins actually takes place right after the ending of Gorod Krovi and before Revelations. So for a long time, we had no clue how the Origins ending cutscene fit in with the official Zombies timeline. But once Blundell himself confirmed it, once the official Zombies timeline confirmed what was going on, then we were able to understand that yes, the order in which we see things and play things in Call of Duty Zombies is not necessarily the order in which they actually occur in real time. So the ending cutscene of Revelation showing the premise back in the ancient times with the original stabs could easily take place at a different point in time throughout Black Ops 4 Zombies DLC season. That could be a standalone map, possibly a remake of some sort where we get to use the original stabs, but that will be the start of the cycle. But we never know. There could be something in between the ending of Revelations and the start of the cycle again. But let me know what you think down below in the comment section. Sorry if any of this sounds confusing. I will post any clarification that you guys request of me. I'll leave some more information down below in the description regarding these Reddit posts and even more information on the multiplayer maps that we showed earlier in this video. But thanks so much for watching. This has been dkdynamite, and stay tuned for the latest Black Ops 4 news and information. And peace out, YouTube.